Long ago, there was a woman who found a holder in a sanitarium quite by accident. She found him in a hidden part of the building, at the end of a corridor that seemed much longer than the building allowed for. He was talking in a language she didn't understand or recognize. When the muttering stopped, she was filled with an indescribable fear, and said the first thing that came to her mind. "I'm just passing through. I wish to talk." The muttering continued, and she made her way to the door of a small windowless room. In the corner was a man who would not respond to any question she asked. She sat patiently just inside the doorway and took no notice of the object he was holding in his hand. After many hours of asking unanswered questions, she decided to listen. She started hearing patterns in the mad rambling, so she closed her eyes. After what seemed like days, questions started appearing in her mind. Where did they come from? What do they want? What happens when they all come together? Hours of questions flooded her mind, and she began to lose her own language as she felt the questions burn into her skin. Days later, she awoke in a very strange place she had never been before. It was a small room with one window and no door. A face appeared in the window and said, "I seek the holder of the end." She could not contain herself. The only question the holder would respond to poured from her lips against her volition and burned itself deeper into her skin. Months later, another seeker arrived, then another, and another. With every seeker and every question, her wounds grew deeper and deeper. Decades have passed now, maybe centuries, and thousands of seekers have found her. Each question that leaves her mouth takes with it more of her flesh and sanity. She is mostly bones now, but she still holds questions. Exactly 538 questions. Many more questions than have been asked. Her torment will not end until someone asks one of two questions. The first is, how did you come to know these questions? Be warned, asking this will seal your fate. You'll be compelled closer and closer to her until you're within her grasp. She will reach through the window, grabbing hold of you tightly, and drag you in. Kicking and screaming, writhing in agony, as the questions tear through you. You will not remember exactly what happened, only the pain. You will awake in a room with only one small window and no door. Questions carved into your skin, seared into your mind, and the knowledge that you have taken her place. The second question that will end her suffering is the final question. It is the question that will be asked when they all come together. She is not one of the 538 objects, but she can tell you the questions you need to find them. If you look for her, and if you find her, be patient. Before you seek your question, listen closely. You may hear her, weakly rasping, painfully repeating. They must never come together. They will come together. They must never come together. They will come together.
They must never come together. They will come together. They must never come together. They will come together. They must never come together. They will come together. They must never come together. They will come together. They must never come together. They will come